This week on Dine Drink CLE, the podcast.
When you walk in, it's high ceilings and all the decor, ambience, and architecture makes you really feel like you're in an Italian square or an Italian village.
And it's a very interesting story how Allie came up with the idea. She's very open online about she struggled with an eating disorder and she kind of cut out a lot of peanut butter and nut spreads from her diet. You want to try it out?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What you could learn a lot from our whole series is there is kind of all of these different distilleries that you could find something you like to do. Like if you like to take tours, if you like to do classes, if you want to eat, if you want
to dress up, if you want to dress down.
Live music, like family friendly. There's really like...
I'm Josh Duke.
And I'm Alex Darus.
And you're either watching or listening to Dine Drink CLE, the podcast, where each and every week we're going to be joined by cleveland.com's best and brightest food experts, insiders, and influencers talking all things eat and drink here in the Northeast Ohio area. What are we talking about today, Alex?
Yeah, we have a lot of exciting stories here on the podcast. First, we're going to talk about a new restaurant in Valley View that's a slice of Italy in Northeast Ohio. We're going to get an update on the Spirited Women Distillery Tour with me and Paris. We've been going to a lot of fun distilleries lately, a lot of cocktail classes and tastings. And then finally, we're going to talk about Oat Haus, which is a granola butter brand that just recently relocated its headquarters to Cleveland. So
sounds delicious as always.
Yes. Yeah. So first we're joined by Marc Bona. Hi, Marc.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. So Ficarra, tell us what's going on in Valley View.
Well, this is kind of neat. A couple years back, actually several years ago, I met with Carl Cosita, who owns Collinwood Grape Company, and Ficarra Cellars is a project of his. So what Carl has done for many, many years is buy grapes and make juice, make wine, or sell grapes to people, home wine makers, basically. And he's really established this this business for it's gone on for many, many years. He's done a good job with it, very long time business. But he wanted to strike out on his own with a pretty unique idea. So Ficarra Cellars is located in Valley View. It's right off of Canal Road. And what he's done, I liked your description, Alex, of saying it's a slice of Italy, because it really feels that way. When you walk in, it's high ceilings and all the decor, ambience, and architecture makes you really feel like you're in an Italian square or an Italian village. So you see these old-fashioned stone windows cut out and some religious medallions and statues. And it's just the neatest thing. He's planning for a summer opening, and it really is a wine bar, it's a restaurant, and a retail wine shop, kind of all rolled into one. There's a cool pavilion outside. There's inside he's got meats hanging, so it feels like you're walking by a storefront. He's got one area sells it's as if it's selling ceramics, so he's got ceramics hanging in this fake window, and then he's using the space behind it as you can't see it, but it's an actual cooler for what he's got, and it's just cool. And outside next to the pavilion, he's going to have back-to-back fountains. So this looks like a really cool space.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's going to be beautiful. But I guess what's the deal with the food and what's the philosophy going into the menu?
So Carl is Italian. He's an Italian American, and he wants truly authentic and traditional Italian dishes. Now, everybody seems to throw the word authentic around. We talked about Mexican restaurants, Italian, and other things. But Carl and I had a really wonderful conversation, a wonderful interview, because I understand what he's getting at, because I grew up in an Italian-American household, and he wants things like, he said, look, you go into a restaurant now, charcuterie is very big. All right, it's very tasty, it's good. He goes, I'm not putting strawberries on a charcuterie plate. He wants roasted red peppers. That's very traditional. That's what I grew up with. You want a balance of hard and soft cheeses, different types of meats. Things like that are great noshes to go with wine. He'll have a bunch of different varietals. And in the back, he'll have a private event space that is going to be right around all the vats of wine. He aims to serve dishes like vitello tonnato, which is braised veal that comes with the sauce, if you will, is mayonnaise, capers, and anchovies. I know that may sound gross to some people, but that's a really, really unique thing. You just don't get on a lot of at a lot of restaurants. Traditional eggplant. He's going to serve caponata and agrodolce. So that's kind of like a delicious little condiment that you can put on bread or on some other dishes and fish and chicken, and it just sounds wonderful. And they're also going to have a pizza room. It's a room devoted to this traditional state-of-the-art Italian pizza oven. And he's bringing in, I love this, he's bringing in a pizza-ioli, which is a certified pizza maker. So this person had to study and get certified in Italy. It's an art form.
I want to study that.
Yes. Pizza is an art form there.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for that. As a matter of fact, as an aside, Matt Cole of Fatheads Brewery actually studied a few years ago to learn all this. He's really into food and food projects. So I can't wait to try the pizza. I can't wait to try that caponata. And I think it's just a really cool idea. It sounds like it could be schlocky, but it isn't. I walked in there and I really, really like it.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's kind of going toward the more very classic, traditional kind of approach than maybe a trendy, like contemporary Italian.
Yeah, that's what I got. And this is traditional, and it really does make you feel like you're in this Italian village or square.
Yeah.
I was there 20 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. And that's what people like to do in Italy. You know, it's not like you're going to Disney World. You want to walk through these traditional old places.
Yeah, I was looking at those photos, and I very much got that vibe. Like, is this modeled after some street in Italy? Because it was like they really put a lot of time and effort, it looked like, on creating that ambience and that vibe. And I'm also thinking, like, it would be great if they could sometimes have, like, even live music with, you know, maybe some...
Yeah, get a guy playing a string instrument.
Yeah, exactly. I can just so imagine that being a really nice romantic dinner. Valentine's Day is going to probably be a good spot to go, you know, over there for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks really cool.
And as far as, like, the retail wine part, is it kind of bottles that you wouldn't be able to find other places? And I'm assuming the focus would be on Italian wines.
That's a good description for it, because I asked him about that, and I think it will be primarily Italian wines, but there's a lot of other different varietals. I mean, I walked in there and he's got these plastic vats, these fermenters or tanks, I should say, that are filled. Everyone's labeled with a different grape, and their grapes are from all over the place. So I'm pretty confident that anybody who goes in there who likes wine will find a wine that they like.
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, and we have a pretty nice, like, spot in Little Italy with tons of great places to go, but this is kind of getting you out of that area and going to Valley View for kind of an all-in-one special experience. Kind of really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and now we're joined by Paris Wolfe, and we're going to talk a little bit about our Spirit Women Distillery series. So, hi, Paris.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Josh.
Hey, yeah. So give us an update. What's been going on with it?
We have been going all over the place.
Everywhere. Yeah, we've been out to Geneva. We've been down to Akron. We've been to Lakewood. We've been to Lake County.
Willoughby, yeah.
We've been to 6 distilleries, written about 4 of them so far. Should have 2 more stories coming out in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they're all been very different. Like Western Reserve Distillery in Lakewood, it's a very, well, their big focus is all organic spirits.
It's very urban vibe.
Yeah, but and there's a restaurant in it, and you can take cocktail classes and stuff. And then you have somewhere like Lake Erie Distilling, which is in Willoughby, which is very much like kind of the after work relaxed bar vibe. It's like a lounge.
And yet it's in an industrial parkway where you wouldn't expect to find it. So it's a kind of a special
and a
thing.
full bottle shop, and they do classes there too. Gervasi, that I think was, well,
that's a campus.
Yeah.
That's a winery distillery campus.
You could spend the whole day there just going to all of their different buildings, and we ate there. You can do tours and stuff.
Great.
And then Tom's Foolery, which is how many acres?
Out in the country. It's 115 acres of rye and corn. They use their very own grains to distill to make their products. I don't believe I saw any wheat there, so it's all corn and rye. They make an Applejack as their specialty spirit, but it's all in the country. You don't really go to visit them unless you make an appointment or watch Facebook for their open house announcements.
Okay, so I'm sure these are all like your little babies right now, but do you have favorites? Do you have standouts right now that you're just like, I am going back there?
I am partial to Western Reserve Distillers because I can walk there from my house and I go there
Okay.
all the time.
Fair.
And they have a dog-friendly patio, so I bring my dog there.
Mm.
But I love eating there. Thursday, they have all-day happy hour. I always go there and just, if there's like a classic cocktail I've never tried, I try it there because I know they're going to make it like deliciously. I think that's mine, but.
Well, since Alex stole mine,
Okay.
I'm going to go with Gervasi.
Yes.
It's kind of a dress up, little bit fancy, but not too fancy.
We like a good reason to put on a good outfit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Josh does
Right.
that.
There's great lighting on the bar,
Mhm.
and you can get some fancy flights. They
Mhm.
have a pink peppercorn gin. They have some fruited liqueurs. They
Oh,
have
yeah.
their classics. They
Mm.
make some craft cocktails. It's just a
Yeah.
really fun place to go. It's a little bit of a haul for me, but that kind of makes it special too.
Yeah.
Kind of separates me from my daily life.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would really enjoy one where there's activities and things you can do outside of just the.
You could literally go to like, they have what are all the
They
buildings?
have
Like a gift
couple
shop.
of different restaurants. They have a gift shop,
Mm.
which is fun to walk around and look at the various gifts as well as decide which bottles you're going to buy.
Yeah.
You could probably just walk around. In the summertime, sometimes they have the Cleveland Ballet or other performing arts going on there. If you keep an eye out for these special events, they have cooking classes as well. So it can be a pretty busy place.
It's like, I don't know. It feels like Disney World for booze lovers, kind of like seriously though,
you're right.
it's a full campus.
That's
like,
awesome.
But at all of these distilleries we've been to, I feel like Paris and I, we always end up going home with a bottle each of something because we try something we like. Like Lake Erie Distilling, their very special product, in my opinion, is the pickle vodka. It makes delicious Bloody Marys.
I
Delicious.
have one of those.
Yeah, we bought that.
I believe it based on my limited experience with pickled items at Pickle Fest.
Well, they were
recently.
there.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They did pickle lemonade, I think, or something.
Yeah, that was pretty hot over there. I remember that.
Yeah, but it's so good.
Mhm.
And what else do we like? Oh, the agave spirits at Western Reserve Distillery. It's basically tequila, but they can't call it tequila because it's made in Ohio.
The pink peppercorn gin,
Those are pink peppercorn gin.
the Palo Santo gin at Seven Brothers Distilling.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good too.
Honestly, we haven't really had
A lot that we don't like.
a lot that we don't like at all. Like, especially in all these places too, it's very interesting to see how they do cocktails. Like, for example, Lake Erie Distilling, I feel like they make their cocktail list in a way that it's not like you would make it at home, like, or you would think to make it at home, but you can. Like, you can buy their products. It's very much like lemonade you could buy at the grocery store, their pickle vodka, mix them together, and it's easy
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
It puts their products in the forefront too. Some craft cocktails, the spirits are part of them, but they really put theirs in the forefront.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I just think it's very approachable. Whereas, like, I don't know, somewhere like even Gervasi, we had some amazing.
I'm not making those at home.
Yeah, like lavender gin fizz.
That sounds good,
Infused,
actually.
Yeah.
It was so good. Like, but I like having both of those experiences too.
Mhm.
And I think for people, what you could learn a lot from our whole series is there is kind of all of these different distilleries that you could find something you like to do. Like if you like to take tours, if you like to do classes, if you want to eat, if
If you
you
want
want
to dress up, if you want to dress down.
live
Mhm.
music, like family friendly, there's really like Ohio has a ton of
Yeah.
options.
So, if you've been to one, you have not been to all.
Not at
You
all.
have to travel.
Yeah, and
you
I
have
mean,
to visit these.
we're about almost halfway through the
Almost
year.
halfway through.
And I'm very excited to see the other half that we have just based on everything we've gone to so far.
Okay. So you've done 4. I'm sorry, you've done 6, but have the stories out for 4. And so there's going to be another 6 after that?
Another 10.
Another 10.
It keeps
Gotcha.
growing. Our list keeps actually.
Because people who own distilleries have been reading our work and saying, hey, what about us?
Mm.
And sometimes we don't find them with a Google search. They might be small. They might not
Mhm.
have a high presence. And so we're learning about more all the time.
Yeah. And
So-
also, is it open now, the Ohio Distillery Trail?
It will be available for sign up on May 24th.
Okay. Yeah. And that's not
The
just
whole Ohio. There's 75 distilleries, I believe, in Ohio. Not everyone is participating in the trail, but if you visit the ones that are on the trail, you accumulate points for prizes. They haven't released the exact details yet, but watch on May 24th for that.
Yeah. And our version is kind of our abridged Northeast Ohio, taking that idea a little bit. But that's
something you
the
won't
official.
mind driving to in the afternoon and having a beverage and then driving home.
And we don't offer prizes, unfortunately, but not yet. We don't offer prizes.
Okay, Alex. So Oat Haus just relocated to the Brooklyn Heights area. Tell us a little bit about the special thing that they're serving.
Yeah, Oat Haus is a nut-free spread. It's kind of like an alternative to peanut butter or Nutella. Allie Bonar, her fiance Eric Katz, and their third business partner, Ari Schreier, came up with the idea. They launched in 2018. And it's a very interesting story how Allie came up with the idea. She's very open online about she struggled with an eating disorder, and she kind of cut out a lot of peanut butter and nut spreads from her diet. Once she went on her recovery journey, she was trying to reintroduce these fear foods back into her diet and found it was really hard for her to digest like nuts. Just a lot of people have that problem. And so also at this time, like oat milk was really popular at the time. And she didn't like the other alternative nut-free spreads. It was like sunflower butter and soy butter. And so she thought, why can't we make it out of oats? And so it ended up, after a few iterations, they toasted the oats and it's granola butter. And now they have usually between 8 to 10 flavors. They do a lot of limited time drops and stuff, but it goes from kind of basic, like a vanilla-y spread, to really fun dessert flavors from like banana bread, cinnamon roll, brownie batter. And it's really cool because it's vegan, gluten-free. It's free from the top, I think, 9 allergens, which, so it's not just nuts, it's like a bunch of whatever, you can look them up. But it's kind of like everyone can eat it, but Allie really doesn't want to market it as like just for people with dietary restrictions. Like they're very much taste forward. A lot of their flavors, they just try to have fun with it. The brand is really fun. And so they started in California. They moved to Philly for a few years, and now they have a 50,000 square foot facility in Brooklyn Heights. And they're planning on basically being here for the foreseeable future. The brand's grown and become huge. They were on Shark Tank. They have a ton of followers and they go viral on TikTok all the time. So it's really cool to have this product now be based in Cleveland that you see when you go to Whole Foods or Target. It's on the shelves there. So
yeah, I think it's really cool. It's funny you said that it started in California because it sounds like a California thing. You know, I feel like veganism, healthy eating, like alternative diets. I understand it's not the goal. The branding positioning isn't like a diet thing, but this is screaming California. Yeah, and I just think what are those flavors that they're offering?
Brownie batter, cookie dough, birthday cake.
Okay.
They have a lot of different, s'mores, which actually that's the one. The s'mores is the only one that's not vegan because it has marshmallows. All of these, they're just really fun flavors, and they come up with really unique ways to use them. Like obviously you could just spread it on a piece of bread or whatever, but they go great in smoothies. You could drizzle it over ice cream. Like they really taste delicious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so it's stuff like Nutella. Like if you have a nut allergy, I'm sorry you've been missing out, but this sounds like it would kind of replace a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That taste with some of the flavors they've got.
Yeah, they have like a chocolate flavor and stuff like that.
So what kind of recipes are you thinking in terms of like how are you gonna use this?
Well, so far I've just kind of been eating it out of the jar, but I think honestly, you could probably make. Okay, think about it. You make a peanut butter cookie. You could make a granola butter cookie, or I think I've seen. You could probably just honestly like freeze it and like dip it in chocolate and eat it like a bite. Like
Interesting.
A truffle or something.
Very
like a
creative.
But I just think honestly, their social media presence too is very much like they come up with so many fun ways to use it. Allie she's a great follow on social media. She's very much like the way they approach the brand is very her. Like she tells her followers the good, the bad, the ugly of all of of having a startup that is literally 3 people that they started making it at 2 a.m. in a shared apartment. They had to do it in the bathroom because they were making it in Vitamix blenders and they didn't want to wake up their roommates. And it's like, that's how they nailed it. And now I think she said in Cleveland, they have the ability to do over 75 million in business with their space here and everything. So it's really crazy how big they've grown since 2018. You want to try it out?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we got the cookie dough flavor. It's kind
Let's see. Got it right here. Cookie dough. Interesting.
with chocolate chips.
Okay.
It's kind of like a mix between a crunchy and smooth texture.
Yeah. That's a big scoop. I'm sorry. I gotta.
No,
even
you're
that
good.
Alrighty. This is really good.
I like that there's a lot of chocolate chips.
Yeah, it genuinely, when I say it genuinely tastes like I'm eating, it might sound gross, but it actually is really good. Like a mushed up chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, or like a half-baked one.
Yeah, like cookie dough. Like
Yeah, that's what she said. Like they originally, she thought with the branding, people wanted healthy cookie dough. So it had collagen protein and cacao nibs. And the customers were like, no, we want Toll House cookie dough. So she totally just listened, and that's how they've kind of come up with these different flavors.
Yeah, I want this on, I could do it on some toast. I could do this with some ice cream. I could put it on a cookie. Yeah, I could put it on a cookie for sure. This is some good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so try out Oat Haus. Now they're local, and I know you can find them at Whole Foods, Target, several stores, and online. So thanks so much for listening to or watching Dine Drink CLE, the podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Dine Drink CLE, and subscribe to our newsletter at cleveland.com/newsletters.